The champions searched Dancia's room, and after some shenanigans, at first glance, all seemed fairly normal. But the priestess of Bala held a dark secret. Her allegiance was divided, as she also seemed to be calling upon Virilis, goddess of love, fertility, and vengeance. Through some digging, the champions learned her feelings for the prince might go beyond what was appropriate as his caregiver, so they decided to head down to the dungeons and interrogate their suspects. While Korth was willing to speak, their interrogation techniques angered the captain, who grew belligerent with them. Having gotten all they could, the champions decided it best to move on and speak with Dancia.
Francois looks at the group and he says, "He never told me how many fingers I was holding up. Obviously it is him."
Le gasp. Ow. How do you talk like that all the time?
He just looks at you. Let us go and see what's, in the interest of thoroughness, let us see what the cleric has to say.
It's fun to see how you people do your investigations.
I'm actually curious as to how you do your investigations now, but...
Oh, we do it based on evidence.
So, Dancia is... You know that really cliche Disney princess I throw myself on the bed and sob scene? Oh,
Yep.
no. She's basically thrown herself on the bed and is sobbing in that exact, like, Ariel did it, Cinderella did it, just picture that.
Yep.
Which is weird because she's like a 30-something-year-old woman doing it.
Okay, before we get into the room, Francois is going to turn to Piper and say, I had higher hopes for you and your skills.
It's also a matter of will in general.
He shrugs. He did not seem like someone who I would have expected to have particularly high will.
He's a soldier, they all have high wills.
Exactly. Meh. Just trust.
Very well. Let us hope that things go a little better with our love-struck cleric. Hmm?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, so when they go in and we see Disney Princess Blotchy Girl.
Yep. Real quick, that's a intelligence saving throw for yours thing, Piper?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I just rerolled the d10 for Francois. A6 down to A3.
Ah.
Whoa, you can re-roll?
You can find people attractive, more attractive or less attractive as time goes on with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Wow, she got real pissy because of one critique of her abilities that she admittedly failed at.
Have you ever known an artist, Sara?
Oh, that's fair. That's very fair.
You do wonderful work, except this is trash.
No, except this very legitimate criticism of a explicit failure in execution.
Artist will remember this.
Puff me up. So they go into the cell, and so Francois pulls over a stool, and he sits down on the stool, and he steeples his fingers together, and either he waits for her to notice him, or as a little bit of time passes, he coughs.
It'll be the second one because she is like
Okay.
full on sobbing.
He coughs lightly. Mademoiselle.
She like turns around and you see like bloodshot eyes, splotchy red skin, just like she's a mess.
Understandably.
Yeah.
He says, I would like to ask you a few questions, if I may intrude.
She like takes her sleeve and starts wiping her eyes, trying to, try and get some kind of semblance of being presentable. Doesn't work, but she kind of just turns and faces you and just kind of nods at you.
You already know who I am, and I believe you are familiar with my investigating team here.
She kind of looks at, I'm familiar with them, yes. Did not know they were part of your team.
Yes, neither did I. If you would be so kind as to regale us once again with the tale of events as it occurred this evening, please.
I heard the prince cry out in his sleep. not like he normally does when he has bad dreams. This was violent, almost. I got to my feet and saw this shadow looming over him. It didn't move right in the candlelight. So I stood over him and I reached out and tried to cast anything to help. I was grasping. Honestly, I didn't know what I could do. And as I reached out with my power, it was failing me, and so I didn't even hear the door open until Korth was there and cried out at me, and I screamed, and that's everything.
Mademoiselle, tell me a little more about this shadowy figure. Can you describe its appearance, please?
I didn't really get a good look. It was just... It didn't move right. The shadows weren't moving the way they should.
Did it have a shape? Did it have a form, or was it just some sort of a mist?
It was on the wall, and it was dark. I couldn't make out a shape.
Do you wear glasses, mademoiselle?
No. Only gnomes have glasses.
Would you be so kind? He sits back and holds up 4 fingers. Would you please just indulge me? Tell me how many fingers I am holding up.
You're holding up 4 fingers. Why?
He glances over at the rest of the group and goes back to steepling his hand, his fingertips together.
Craig's in the background. Interesting. Very interesting.
Could you tell us a little bit about how you said your power was failing you? Could you tell us how you were beseeching your goddess?
Well, all
And
clerics.
who it was again?
My goddess is Bala, and all clerics have been having difficulties reaching their gods. Over the past year, it's become something of an epidemic.
Insight check?
You can go ahead and look.
24.
Yeah, she rolled a 3. So she is looking away. She looks uncomfortable. She's not lying per se. Her official goddess, according to everyone who knows her, is Bala. But she also didn't say who she was beseeching when she was trying to
True.
access the power. She said, you asked, who's your goddess? And how were you trying to reach her? So she answered you honestly, but she's uncomfortable.
You said you've been having trouble reaching Bela. Have you tried reaching another god?
Everyone can make an insight check on that one.
Do we even need to?
Just to read her.
10.
10. 15.
15, 10, 10,
18.
15,
12.
12. Yeah, you all got it. She rolled another 3. You see her, like, go rigid and just kind of, like, look around at all of you. It's very much a face of, oh, fuck, they know.
So now that we're past that, would you like to answer our question again?
It's not uncommon for people to change gods over the course of their lives. And while I was trained in the Church of Bala, Virilis offered a different path in life that I found far more appealing. And it's not like beseeching her made things any easier. The magic is still beyond our reach sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it works.
Have you found more success with Virilis?
She just kind of
Recently,
shakes her head.
for instance, this evening.
Virilis has fewer followers. Virilis offers me the kind of life where I can be more than just a on-call nurse. I get to be my own person. I get to live a life. Be happy.
How long have you been serving as the prince's nursemaid?
She kind of like winces a little at the title of nursemaid. But she goes, I've been his nurse for the past 7 years.
And in those 7 years, did you ever meet his friend Kethra?
You don't even need an insight check on that one either. She winces again. Yes, I have. They were childhood friends. She was around quite a bit until she decided to live out in the country.
Out of character, when was that? That wasn't in the last couple of years, right?
No, she would. That was a while ago, but she would come and visit in the castle. Yeah, Dancia was never privy to them growing up together.
What did you think of Kethra?
You see her shoulders kind of square up a little bit, and when she speaks, she has a very... It's unusual compared to how she's been speaking. More authority to her voice. They were good to have friends as children, but she is not the kind of woman that would be becoming to the future king of Mace. And it sounds like something that had been repeated a lot.
Now, do you really think that, or are you just telling yourself that?
Whoa!
Wow! Her eyes just snap to you, Jelltur, and she goes, that is what the king has said.
Great. Could you tell us more about the shadow?
Francois nods and he says, oui, I would like to know, have you encountered any disturbances, any nighttime disturbances in the last week, month or so? Is this the first time you have seen something like this, or?
I'd never seen the shadow before. I barely saw it last night.
But have you encountered it, a malicious presence, a dark foreboding at night? Has the prince been sleeping soundly in his bed?
He has nightmares on occasion, but nothing ever to this level.
Natural nightmares? Nothing with the magical components that you can tell?
Not that I could tell.
Does your clerical training give you any insight into what perhaps could be the source of something like this? If you had to guess, indulge me.
There are too many things that could be possible if it was...
Name 3.
A spirit, an arcane user, perhaps. It could be a devil or a demon. It could be...
Are they known to take this sort of... in your experience, in your knowledge, in your training...
I never really faced off with devils and demons in my training.
But you certainly must have read, or some sort of theory.
I've read about demons and devils being able to do such a thing, but such an interaction is exceptionally rare. It's possible.
Very well.
Rare.
Very well.
Could be an abomination.
How has the prince's relationship with his father been lately?
They've been at odds. The king wishes to tighten the shell around the city and protect it against the oncoming attack. The prince has been wanting to take a more proactive role in things.
Has he spoken of this often?
He makes his voice known, but it is difficult for him to really communicate his thoughts, as the sickness tends to take him when he gets too excited.
You're by his side most of the time, right?
A lot of the time, yes.
Has anyone approached him recently? Anyone that you know, don't know?
Well, outside of the no one unusual, no one out of the ordinary. There are duties that the prince must see to, regardless of his health, and there are tutors that come in. By his request, he's beyond the age that he needs them, but he does have a voracious appetite for knowledge. He spends many hours in the afternoon in his study. He dismisses me at those times, and I come in to check on him every hour, but other than that...
You mentioned that the king was deciding to harden the defenses of the city. Who else would be making those decisions?
Well, as the captain of the guard, Korth has a lot to say about how it's done. The king tells him to do it, and Korth decides how to do it.
Are there any other advisors?
Well, Karenina has some sway with the Arcana side of things.
It must be her. She did it.
I would usually be asked as far as religious roles, or we would bring in the head priests of the major churches, but recently we've kind of stepped aside from that. So the Trinity would usually meet, but we're a point short.
Was anyone else advocating for an offense as opposed to a defense?
Many of the Morning Stars wanted to be more proactive. They left.
Well, I mean, anyone who was making those decisions, other than, you said, the king, the prince, was anyone else who would make those decisions suggesting an offense?
Not particularly. Many of the nobles who get to weigh in on these matters prefer the path of least resistance. The king has final say.
So what you're saying is, without the prince advocating for it, the idea would just stop?
Yes, the prince would be the only person who could challenge the decision of the king. That is, if the queen were still alive, she would have the opportunity as well, but only members of the royal family.
At that, Francois kind of looks over at the rest of the group and meets their eyes.
I tug on the detective coat and I go, I got this! And he walks close to the bar as suave as Francois. It's not very suave.
Roll a performance.
Alright. Please low. Please low. Thank you. The fates have decided it's a natural 1. Plus 2. So 3.
Kreg is sashaying his hips in a very, exaggerated way. And Francois, you look at it and go, is that how he sees me?
No, Francois looks at it and says, very well done.
I feel like the two can go together. Is that how he sees me? I must have a fantastic ass.
Very excellent.
And Kreg just points at her. And he goes, tell us about the traps in your room.
Yeah. What? What traps?
The ones in your room. The ones that almost killed me.
I don't have traps in my room.
J'accuse!
Ah!
I go up and I just gag and I just drag him back. Down, Kreg.
I got your number, lady.
No, you don't. And I drag him away.
I will not be silenced.
Try me.
Francois nods and he stands up. He kind of glances over at Piper to see if there's any more questions she wants to ask, specifically if she wants to cast any of her stuff and do anything else. Otherwise,
I don't think I need Mentalist for this one. Dancia, do you know who would wish ill on the prince, or who would actually want to hurt him?
She kind of clutches her hands to her chest and she's like, I can't think of anyone who would want to hurt the prince. So many people love him and his way of dealing with people and his way of approach. He's passionate and he's compassionate and he's kind, and
This is a woman who's still in love with him and is not vengeance-y against him. Based on the way she's like kind of gushing about him.
I mean, roll insight.
Okay. I rolled a 17 and I have +8. 12.
Yeah, she's waxing poetic, the wistfulness in her voice.
Right. She hasn't like snapped and she's doing vengeance now. She's still like, oh, he's still so wonderful. Yeah. Okay.
She's very much
That's kind
on
of what I
the love and fertility side of Virilis.
Right. That was kind of what we were trying to figure out, if she had finally
Vengeance?
had more than, if it was if the straw had broken the camel's back. But yes. So okay. So Francois, after, while she's talking, he kind of just waves his hand to kind of cut her off, and he goes, "Thank you very much, mademoiselle, for your assistance. I can promise you this: we will be continuing our investigation, and we will leave no stone unturned and no wardrobe unopened." And he turns on his heel and he walks out again.
Please don't open my wardrobe.
So as you get out, as Francois comes out into the hallway, which I presume Kreg and Scratch are out
Pretty
there.
much, Kreg, when you walk out, you still hear, "She did it, I know she did it."
Francois puts a hand on the shaved part of his head to kind of like calm him down a little, like a little pat.
Oh, okay. He
And
comes down.
He goes, "Do not worry, little prickle pig. I think we have caught her in her lie, because you see, she was able to count how many fingers I was holding up, which means she should have been able to see more clearly. She must be lying.
Le gasp!
I hate you all.
But that is also not the most important. I wish to investigate the most."
Mace way. This is how they investigate things. It's okay. Just keep going. This is the Mace way. I finally understand how Scale was able to get in here and had no problem running around, no resistance.
By all means, if you have a better method, please feel free to show us.
No, please continue.
So Francois turns to the group. He says, "But I do not wish to prematurely end our investigation. I do not know about you, but I think that there is one final place we need to poke our noses, as they say."
The rooms we were told not to look into?
Exactement.
So, you guys are making your way back, and when the guards are nearby, you're not being vocal about your plan. But as you approach where the king's room would be, you do notice that guards are patrolling the area, which requires you to pay attention to their loop, stealth, and get in there before you're caught. So anyone who would like to can give me an investigation or perception check.
22.
22.
14 perception.
15 perception.
That's an 8 investigation for Kreg.
19.
18 perception.
18. Alright, so everyone but Kreg gets this. Kreg, this carpet feels like grass, but it's not grass. But it's long like grass. It feels weird between your toes. And it's weird. Just all of that's just weird. The rest of you notice that the guards make their pass every about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. So you would have a minute 30. You have 90 seconds to get down that hall and get that door open.
I look around for a cardboard box.
There is no cardboard in this world, so you do not find one.
Jelltur, you're up.
Yeah. During that interval, how far would almost we get to the door?
Alright, so the door is obviously locked. It's the king's bedroom. So you're gonna need to make a thieves' tools check for me.
21.
21? Alright, so you are fiddling with the lock. It takes you maybe about 10 seconds to get. It's complicated. It's doable, but it's complicated. You get the door unlocked, and it swings open just enough for you to grab it, and, like, it's cracked, and you're in.
What do I see?
So this is a lavish bedchamber with a 4-post bed, large wardrobe, a vanity, a chest at the foot of the bed, and an armor mannequin. There is also a door on one side, a wooden door on one side, and a set of glass doors on the other.
Like see-through glass?
Yes, like they probably lead to an outside vanity, like balcony.
Gotcha.
The rest of you need to make a stealth check to go because there's been time passed, so I need a group stealth.
Okay.
I mean,
So I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
So you reach into your connection with Munara. The goddess has blessed your entire race with this ability. All the veiled jungle cats can do this. And the shadows just bend to you. They do what you tell them to do. And you wrap them around each other, and you move silently.
Okay, when Francois notices this, he puts, you know how, like, Gen Z will put, like, a little drawing of a mustache on their index finger and hold it up over their upper lip? I do that, but not with the mustache over the finger, so it's just covering the fire mustache.
You snuff it just enough to get through.
Yep, that's exactly it. I do it to make like when I see the shadows do it.
Alright, so that means all of you get to add plus 10 to your stealth roll.
24.
24.
27.
27.
26.
26.
29.
29. Yeah, I'm not doing the average. I don't need to. That's well over 20. So you guys, using the shadows, just slip right to where Jelltur is. Jelltur, you feel the shadows wrap around you as you come within, or as Scratch technically comes within range of you. And you can all slip into the door and close it before the guards rounding the corner even know what happened.
That is a very handy little trick you have there, Mr. Shat. How long does this last?
Should be about an hour.
Very well. At that, he reaches into his pocket and takes out a scarf, like a super French-looking scarf, and like wraps it around his head but specifically so it's covering his upper lip, so that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's putting a scarf on so it covers the mustache, so he doesn't have to hold his hand up the whole time.
So you said vanity, chest, wardrobe, the armor mannequin, the bed, and then the 2 sets of doors?
Yes.
Okay, he immediately takes out his magnifying glass and starts just like whatever's nearby. He just starts magnifying glass looking.
so I'll go check out the other 2 doors.
Alright. Are you going for the outside door or the inside door?
The wooden ones.
Alright. That's the inside doors. So, as you come to the door, you see that there's a pair of double doors, brass handles, also locked.
Do I hear anything on the other side?
Make a perception check.
Say 16.
Silent as the grave.
Like, now, is this his study, I'd assume?
You are currently in his bedroom.
Let's check for traps then.
Roll investigation check to look for traps.
24.
You do not find any traps with a 24, but you do find a hair in the door jamb.
Oh my god.
Hair?
A hair.
Oh.
A human.
So he'll know if it's been opened.
You know, that bullshit trick.
It has worked in literature for centuries. I'm not giving up on the
I
trope.
mean, it's possible to put it back when I'm done, right?
Yeah, it's possible to put it back when you're done.
Alright, cool. I go to pick the lock now.
Alright, roll a Thieves' Tools check.
It's just 10, so 23.
23. Alright, so we'll get back to that in a second. while Jelltur was investigating the door and picking the lock, what was everyone else doing in this room?
Investigate the vanity?
Alright. So, there's no roll for the vanity, but there are several grooming kits. There's bottles and vials of creams, perfume, makeup, and assorted other grooming tools.
I'm going to do a survival just because that's basically what Greg's been doing apparently, and Scooby doing this entire thing.
Alright, what are you survivaling? Like, where are you in the room?
What's in the room?
There is the 4-post bed, large wardrobe, vanity, chest at the foot of the bed, and there's an armor mannequin.
I would probably go to the mannequin because it's shiny because I got a 6, so...
Alright. It's not that shiny as there's no real armor on it.
Oh.
It is just set up to hold armor and none on it.
Huh.
Because he's wearing it.
Scratch or Francois, what else are you looking at?
I might just be a lookout or something, just to make sure that there's no one coming in the door.
Okay, yeah. Well, so I go over to the wardrobe, and I say to myself out loud, but quietly, "You made yourself a promise that you would open the wardrobe doors, and now, voila!" And he pulls open the wardrobe doors.
God damn it.
Within the wardrobe, you find fine garments emblazoned with the sigil of the royal family of Mace, which is pretty much just a mace. Each garment is worth at least 50 gold pieces each.
Okay. I kind of shuffle the clothes aside a little bit and look for anything unusual. I guess I'll roll investigation for that.
Go for it.
Check for secret panels and shit.
24.
You find the garments and the garments alone.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. All right, but yeah, so satisfied with the contents of the wardrobe, I'm gonna go take a look at the chest.
All right.
What's to check for traps?
Investigation.
All right, so I'm just gonna roll a general investigation on it. 23.
No traps. It is about the point where you are opening the chest lid that Jelltur gets the door.
Okay. It's not locked, the chest.
Chest is not locked.
Oh, awesome. So I open the chest. What's inside?
Inside, you find musty robes, books in exotic languages, 500 gold pieces, and a wand.
Interesting. I use the magnifying glass to inspect the wand.
Make an Arcana check.
19.
This is a Wand of Chaos. It is a very rare magical item that is kind of a crapshoot to use. It could create...
Is it like wild magic?
It's like wild magic in a wand.
Interesting. Can I tell if it's been used recently?
With a 19, it doesn't seem like it's been used, but it has been well kept.
As I like move the magnifying glass up and down the wand, I say, perhaps we can find the other chopstick somewhere else.
Did you really just say that about a powerful magic item? Did you call it a chopstick? Really?
Let us not jump to conclusions.
Oh my fucking god.
So, Jelltur, those doors open up for you.
Yeah.
Inside, there is a large desk and several bookshelves around it. A large table in the center of the room that has a map of the continent placed on it with pins pushed down at several places, and a model of a fort near the window overlooking the north of the city.
The window overlooks the north of the city.
Yes.
The fort model doesn't.
Well, basically, you would be standing in front of the fort model, and you would be able to look up.
It's not a model of the city.
No, it's a model of a fort.
Okay, got it.
And from looking at it, you can look out the window and see the north side.
Okay. When I see Jelltur opens up the door, I put the wand back in, close the chest, and go follow him into the room.
Alright.
Same.
Go check out the desk.
Alrighty. It's a nice, fine mahogany.
Survival! Because I don't know. No, better. 17.
With a 17, you don't really find anything secretive with survival on this one.
Okay, that's fine.
I feel like you'd probably smell the books in the bookcase as the most interesting smell in the room.
Okay, interesting.
Yep. I want to search for like any hidden compartments or anything.
Roll me an investigation.
23 again.
Well, fuck. DC 20? Definitely not high enough to make things difficult for you guys anymore. You do find a secret panel. And inside, you find a scroll. Not like a magical scroll, just a scroll. And a wax seal that has been broken. So it's been read.
Good.
But the wax seal has the picture of a spider with 2 interlocking rings on its thorax.
I read it.
What languages do you speak?
None of that's written in this one.
Nope.
Yeah, I found a scroll. Can't read it.
Not as interesting smelling as these books.
Yes, but who can read this?
So each of you take turns looking at it and shake your head. Kreg, you look up at, you're focused on that bookshelf. You're interested. You look up and you're like, I don't know why they're all getting so confused over it. That thing makes perfect sense. I can read it from here.
Huh. We have upheld the end of the bargain. Well, that's good. And he goes back to looking at the books.
Say what?
No. Kreg, please. Could you read this whole thing for us?
Oh, I can read it as clear as day. Go over. Ahem. Like a kid with a book report.
Yep. So Kreg,
What language is it in?
it is technically in Undercommon.
Okay.
We have upheld our end of the bargain. Normally one makes such a transition on their own, but now that the Queen of the Many Eyes has blessed you, you have the power to bring your city into the glories of the world we will build. I caution you to be wary of where you put this item, as without it you will be powerless. Death cannot wholly be avoided by any other than the gods, but even the gods here will tremble. Beware the cleric and the knight, for they can still cause us grief. Remove them subtly if possible, but soon. And it is signed, the Avatar of the Eight.
What does that mean? The Avatar of the Eight?
I feel like everyone is just staring at each other right now.
I'm more curious about this item.
And also remove the cleric and the knight.
Yeah. We know neither one of them did already, but does this specify this item?
Oh my god, you guys are just like, okay, whatever, boop boopy doo. I'm like, but voila, the case, she is correct.
Yeah, I already figured it was the king already. Big whoop, no surprise
Yeah,
there.
no, we did that.
That also means that the prince is probably in danger right now because the king is with.
Oh yeah,
But
very much so.
well, I mean, didn't specify the prince in it.
Is this normal
Yes.
for you people?
Yes.
We just came in and we discovered there's a king of the kingdom.
Are you shouting, by the way?
What?
Are you shouting, by the way?
No, he's not. He's like whisper shouting. He's like, are you kidding me? How are you possibly?
This ain't my first rodeo.
How can you
This happens with alarming regularity.
Sacre blue god. Alright, he's mumbling very angrily in Primordial, just like that you guys are so like casual
No,
about
I
this.
wouldn't say. It said there's an item. Is there like anything else around in this room?
I mean, there's other things to investigate in this room.
Can we check the bookshelves?
I want to search for this item.
Go to the bookcases, make an investigation check.
Not great. 12.
You can tell that the books on the shelves are magical in nature, but outside of that, I mean, you've seen, like, books about magic before in your life.
Yeah.
Quite frequently in your home.
Yeah. It's like my parents specialized in it.
And these don't make any more sense to you than those did.
25.
A 25 shows you that those books, they're, a lot of them are necromantic in nature.
Oh no.
Mother goddamn fucker.
That's an alarm.
Alright, so much like how Scratch was mumbling before about how investigations go in Mace, Currently, Francois is like he's trying to like look around a little bit, but the whole time he's just like muttering like, "Sacred bleu, I cannot believe it. This is going to be the case of my career. What are we going to do? It's just the king. Oh my god. Nobody seems to even care that this man is the captain. He's just walking around like it's no big deal." Like, this just broke him.
Oh, I'm sorry. This man is on fire and he's just walking around.
While looking for this item, is there anything else you guys would like to do?
Yeah, is there anything else in here you can investigate? What else in here is there?
There is the map table and there's the model fort.
Are we taking this?
I'm taking what?
The letter Kreg is holding.
The evidence?
Well, my thing is it addressed to the king? Bryan, does it address any king?
It is not directly addressed.
For obvious reasons.
So saying this is evidence is he said. So
Useless.
Yeah, it's not evidence.
Yeah, this is useless.
This is useless as evidence.
Also, I mean, it could be that the king confiscated it from somebody.
For all we know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put it back. So but I'm gonna keep searching for this item though, in case it is here. We're taking that. You said there's the map table. I look at the map table then.
Alright. The map table, there are several different pinned areas on it. If you would be so kind as to make a history check.
A Fort Black Dove check?
Well, one of the points is Fort Black Dove.
20 modified.
But there are multiple points.
20 modified.
20 modified. So you see Fort Black Dove, clear as day. Above that, the Windshear Mountains to the north. Castle Sol to the south, which you remember being in for a very short amount of time. And the city of Mace. It's also pinned on the map.
Cool. Can I take a mental image of this map?
Sure.
Could you sketch it real quick?
I mean,
I'm not the artist here.
I'll sketch it real quick. Take out my notebook.
Alright, so make a quick sketch of the map.
Let's take a close. So that's all I see on the map. Let's take a close look at the fort. Because it's a model, right?
Yep, it's a model of the fort, and it shows a pretty good layout of the fort. You get the feeling this was probably made by someone who knew the fort itself pretty intimately. And it's actually not that old. The model doesn't look that old.
Could I add a sketch of the layout to my notebook?
Sure.
Nothing magical about it.
Nothing magical about it. It just seems fairly well crafted and very detailed. Very
Like you said,
detailed.
it's been done recently. The king currently has control of the fort, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, technically, no one has really been up there. It's practically abandoned.
So then why does he have a detail? So does he, I guess the person that built it made this for him?
It's also possible that he got it made to give more accurate information to somebody that he's working with.
Also theory. So I'm not finding an item here. Did anyone find anything stupid?
Francois found a quote-unquote chapstick, but it's a wand.
While you guys are looking at the plot relevant stuff, Francois is, I rolled a 28 for just like a general investigation of the room for anything that jumped out at me.
So, Francois, you step out of the study because, like, it's the king. You know it's the king. The evidence is not really there, but you know it. And this is the biggest case of your life, and it's the king. And you kind of look down and you look at the king's bed. Perfectly made. Perfectly neat. Doesn't look like it's been slept in. And actually, as you approach, it reminds you a bit of Dancia's bed. It doesn't look like it's been slept in months. There's dust gathered on the duvet.
Did someone check the balcony? Yeah.
The balcony? No, not yet.
Kreg will, and he rolled a 7 on investigation.
Go outside. It's kind of a chilly night. Winter's coming on. But other than that, it's just a balcony. There's a table over there. It's got a glass or two where he probably sits and drinks and looks out over the city.
Can I take a close look at the balcony?
Sure.
What's happening over here, man?
Where's the prince's room compared to here?
Down the hall, so maybe from there, if you kind of lean over the balcony a little bit, you can see his window.
Okay. So you said there was a wand. So there's nothing on this balcony but a table.
Yeah, there's a little table there, probably where he has his breakfast or has a glass of wine at night.
Gotcha.
I don't know why he wouldn't leave a wand of chaos in an unlocked chest in his bedroom when he has other stuff locked in a room.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's probably not the item. It might be an item.
Well, and wasn't it also, it's something that delays death, right? Or something to that effect?
It's a wild magic stick. It can do whatever the fuck it wants.
It's probably on, the king probably has it on his person,
Probably.
is my guess.
Like a ring or something.
So, like, aside from that wand, which is in there, which you say was kept in an unlocked chest, I don't think it's the item.
Probably not. I'm just saying it is an item.
I mean, I don't know if we should take that.
I recommend that we have already broken into the king's quarters. I recommend you do not steal.
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah. I mean, unless it's that special item that was sent, and then, yeah, we're taking that.
And you replaced the hair between the doors, right?
I mean, if that's what we're gonna find. I replace it.
Yeah, if we're done with that room.
So yeah, I will lock the door back, put the hair back. There's nothing under the bed, is there?
You're investigating the bed?
Sure.
All you would find is that the bed is, dusty.
Unslept in.
Cool. Where is the prince being kept?
Currently, he's downstairs in a more common area.
Cool. Where'd the king go?
With the prince.
To a more common area.
Okay.
So
I mean,
we need to go.
I mean, for now, we should probably just, if nothing's happening, we should probably just let them know that, neither of them did it. It was an outside attacker or some shit.
So Francois is, like, pacing a bit right now because he's really, like, trying to figure out what to do.
We can't just be like, hey, it's the, it's the king, and expect to not have to fight the whole fucking city guard and the maze outside.
No, yeah. I'd say, why don't we regroup in another room and we can have a conversation as a group.
We also need to sneak out carefully because the guards are.
Yes, yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
But Pass Without Trace is still up.
Yeah.
Yep, group stealthed up.
Okay.
30.
36.
Damn.
You just gave me plus 20. What do you want from me?
31.
27.
19.
Well, between the 3 30s and the 2 high teens, or one was in the 20s, one was in the... Yeah, no. You guys are stealthed out of there, it's fine. You walk right past the guards, they don't fucking see you.
Yo.
What was that, huh? And you guys make it back to a more private area. In fact, Corin's room would probably be the closest private area for you to use because no one's really there.
We get into the room. Someone closes the door behind. I assume that the Pass Without a Trace gets dropped. Francois steps in front, turns, faces everyone. He's taken his scarf off, so his mustache is aflame, and little sparking, crackling embers are kind of flicking off the ends a little bit. And he claps his hand together and rubs it and goes, voila! And know who did it.
This has been the Reliably Chaotic podcast. Champions of Solane is an original Dungeons & Dragons adventure written by Bryan Scharf using the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rule set published by Wizards of the Coast. My name is Bryan Scharf, and I've been your DM. You can reach me at ReliableDM on Twitter.
My name is Nicole Summers, and I play Piper.
This is Jair, also known as JJ, and I play the character of Jelltur.
This is Matthew Reed, and I play Scratch.
This is Andrew Brown, and I play Kreg.
Bonjour, my name is Sara, and I play the role of Detective Francois Hamburger.
Theme music by Adrian von Ziegler. All other music by Kevin MacLeod on the Incompetech website and Adrian von Ziegler. Detailed information about music in this episode is provided in its description. Music for this episode was selected by Nicole Summers. The episode was edited by Matthew Reed with assistance from Sara. Contact us on Twitter at Reliably Chaotic, email us at reliablychaotic@gmail.com, or join our Discord server by following the link in our description. If you like our show and would like to support us, please consider becoming a patron by going to patreon.com/reliablychaotic or by leaving a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It really does help a lot. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again in our next adventure.
The sleeve of his detective coat, please. Because I don't know if he wears pants.
I hope he does, otherwise we got more than a flaming mustache that we're looking at. Brings new meaning to the term blazing bush.